Hello and warm welcome to Legends of Lifesciences. I'm Shafiulla Hirehal Nuruddin, your guide on this journey through stories of visionary entrepreneurs shaping the future of health and wellness. In this episode, we bring you the journey of two young disruptors who dared to reimagine nutrition in India with a brand that made plant-based wellness not just effective but truly enjoyable. From humble beginnings to a Marico-backed success story, their company has become a movement loved by millions of Gen Z and millennials. This is the inspiring journey of Plix Life and its co-founders, Rishubh, Satiya and Akash Zaveri. Rishab and Akash, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you both on this show. Rishab, let's start with you. What personal goal made Plix inevitable?
So, while building Plix, this was around 3-4 years back, right? When plant-based natural nutrition supplements were not so commonly available. And people were looking at nutrition with brands which were building more towards the bodybuilding space, where I saw brands building for protein, and they had poster boys of people who were like very well built and had strong physique. So it was very intimidating to a normal consumer. We wanted to make Plix accessible to everyone, like someone like you and me wanted to consume it, right? Not to build massive muscles, but just to stay fit. And the second thing which was very important for us was to make nutrition fun and tasty. We wanted to make nutrition not like something you have when you're sick or you're unwell, right? But you want to consume it. It has to be fun, tasty, non-intimidating, a great experience which you look forward to every day. And that's what was one of our vision and missions when we were looking to build out Plix. That's from more like a personal angle in terms of everything. From a commercial angle, I think the journey was honestly not to build a mammoth today, what it is today. But I had a very small vision. It was like the goal was just to do one order a day, right? I did some basic math saying we'll sell a product for around 3,000 rupees. If the product even has 50% gross margin, I'll make 1,500, said 30 tubs a day. I'm making 45-50K. And I was like, maybe that'll cut it for me, right? I was 23, 24 at that point of time. I was like, that's enough. Very small goal. Today we processed maybe north of 50,000 orders and it's really built up, but it's been like a dream run that way.
Very nice, very nice. Akash, why did you both bet on a plant-based before it was even obvious in India?
Yeah, so around a decade back when I was living in the US and working there, there were a lot of companies doing it over there. And why India is because there were immense white spaces. One of the key reasons is the sentiment a decade back in India was that supplements are adulterated and anything you get in the market is synthetic and of artificial nature. Plant-based allows you to sort of bridge that gap where people understand the natural story. You're also able to look at plant-based as being something of Indian origin, where ingredients are sourced locally. Yeah. And that's a very compelling story, not only to the consumer, but even for the economics of this industry, because you're no longer paying high import tariffs on the raw materials that go into this. But just an immense white space. We were one of the pioneers, Plix was one of the pioneers in launching plant-based nutrition in India. And we did a fantastic job making it fun, sexy, and universal for the Indian audience.
Very nice. Rishab, now, at what point did you realize this wasn't just a side project anymore? And what was the first metric that told you we have product market fit?
You know, product market fit is a very fancy term, and it's not one word which will tell you that you have achieved PMF, right? It's everything has to come into place to hit product market fit. Like, to talk a little more about it, like to get product market fit, you have to get your customer love right. You have to get your pricing right. You have to get your margins right. You have to also get repeat purchases right. It is also supposed to scale the product with putting in more money. So it's an amalgamation of 10 things all coming together, which will make you hit product market fit. And honestly, we weren't lucky either. We launched, I think, first with our plant-based proteins, which did well. But I don't call that PMF because it didn't scale so much. But we achieved PMS when we launched our apple cider vinegar. I think this is the product we're talking about.
Very nice.
So it's basically something which really scaled well. And that's what I call PMF, because what I believe is product market fit is when customers accept it, they are continuously buying the product back again in the second month, third month. When you put enough advertising money behind it, the product scales with it, right?
Yeah.
Significantly. It's not that you're only selling 10 units a day, 50 units a day. You're able to sell 2,000, 3,000, 10,000,
Wow.
15,000 units a day, right? And customers start talking about it. Also, PMF is when you're able to do that sustainably, right? Without burning money. So I think all these things is when we realized that we've hit PMF with our apple cider vinegar product is when we hit it. And that's when we believe that this is not a side project. A very funny story is, also I'll tell you why I believe it's not a side project, is we were running Plix and we got a lot of inbound interest from venture capitalists asking how the business is doing. They wanted to put in money, value the business at like 100 plus crores. And we were like just two young guys, put in barely any capital, and we were like, wow, people are really like valuing this business so much. Maybe we've done something right. This is not a side project anymore.
That's really good. How did you pick your very first format and what early insight proved right?
Yeah, so I'll talk about one of our very first pioneering form factors. We call it the effervescent form factor. And this was back in 21, right? We were selling vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams at the time. And we started calling up our customers, asking them why they bought this. We were selling 1,000 a day, right? It was just an immense volume. And if you see the warehouse at the time, it was just overloading with orders. But 1,000 orders a day. I called up some of our customers, maybe 50 of them, and we asked them, why Plix? Why did you choose this product? And they said they love the taste, right? They love the taste, they love the delivery format. And that's what really worked for Plix. We looked at that concept, we looked at the customer love for that, and we realized it was successful because there was a massive application with the form factor. And we believed that we could take this to multiple different opportunities. And so what we did was we looked at the largest TAM, the total addressable market. And we saw that weight management is one category that's highly underserved in India.
That's right.
And there's a lot of clinical evidence about key botanicals that work well in this. And we realized that with the amount of dosage an effervescent can carry, given the surface area, we were able to put the right dosage in. And that's when we launched our first apple cider vinegar effervescent, flew off the shelves. But it's the customer insight that the taste of the product is phenomenal. The form factor is something that's very low in volumetric weight, which works excellent for e-commerce. Coupled with the margins, again, with a low volumetric product, something that comes in a capsule form, works well with the product market fit economics required to scale this.
Akash didn't add, but also we looked at apple cider vinegar as a product, right? It tastes horrible. If you add the liquid, right? If you consume it, you don't spit it out, right? It's not great. So also what we were able to do is we were able to make it more tasty, right? And that also really helped in scaling the product.
Very nice. Scaling brings challenges. What broke at 1,000 orders a day and how did it fix it? Akash, the question is for you.
Yeah, no, lots of things. 1,000 orders a day. We were still working out of our houses. It was COVID. We didn't even have an established office at the time. Massive issues. One was we had a 2,000 square foot warehouse at the time. We couldn't manage the load. Second was regulatory issues. So we were extremely understaffed, bandwidth issues, making sure all of our products were compliant, launching compliantly. That was another issue. Followed by that, we were one of the pioneers in launching great content around our products. So building out that content flywheel was one massive challenge. Again, we had our core team working on it, editing videos, directing videos, all in-house, all personally. But just, it was a lot. And to couple all of that together, we didn't have SOPs, right? We were a young company. We're working out of our homes. We had no SOPs. We were hiring people left and right, figuring out how to manage cash flow. So it was the roller coaster of an early stage startup, which we were dealing with at the time.
Very nice. When it comes to claims, what's enough evidence for Plix before it goes on the label? Akash, this question is for you.
Yeah, sure. So we look at it in two different ways, right? We look at nutritional claims and then we look at functional claims, right? So before anything goes on the label, the nutritional claims have to check out. So with the functional claims. And what that means is at Plix, we go much further than the basic regulatory requirements that FSI has mandated. We send our products to America. We have clean label project certified for many of our bestsellers. And what that means is we're looking at not only the Indian regulatory framework, we're looking at the global framework, allowing us to detect things in our raw materials and our finished goods, which maybe the labs in India also don't have the capabilities to do so. Secondly, we look at the functional claims, which comes down to how efficacious is this in human clinical trials. And that's where we look at peer-reviewed trials on our ingredients that go into our products. And we make sure that our ingredients are substantiated with strong human-backed clinical studies. And when both of these check out, the nutritional and the functional, that is when we are confident that the product is ready for the market.
Plix is a very catchy word on nutraceutical. How did you guys get this name?
So Plix is actually amalgamated from the plant fix, right? So the plant PL comes in, the fix IX comes in, and you get Plix. Our goal was to make something short, right?
Catchy.
And catchy. Also, the name should be available on the market. Everything is usually taken. So that's the bigger challenge in coming. But I think we found this, and it was a great amalgamation of the plant fix, which is our ethos and what we wanted to build, and short. So it worked pretty well.
Rishab, D2C, marketplaces, offline retail, what job does each do best for Plix for today's scenario?
So each channel honestly has its own importance. What I like to talk about is first D2C, right? The best part about D2C is D2C today has enabled any Indian entrepreneur to launch their own brand with the least amount of budget, right? Before, to launch your own brand, you would need solid distribution in place of 50,000 outlets. Plus, you would need to run a TV ad, you need to invest 10, 15 crores, do a lot of market research before investing that kind of, and then only you can launch your brand. With direct to consumer, you can launch your own brand with like 5 lakhs of capital today, right? Create some stock, spend some 30,000 rupees on marketing on Facebook, etc. Send traffic to your website, and you can test out what works, what doesn't work, and accordingly scale slowly and steadily. You don't need to go out with a bang. The traditional FMCG model of doing a massive TV ad, having the entire product displayed is not required anymore. That's the beauty of D2C as a channel, right? It's decentralized launching a consumer business today. So I think that's the importance it plays. It's great to try, test out things, understand. And once you've got your PMF, you've got things in place and you know what's working, you can rapidly scale up D2C. Another very important factor about D2C is it lets you own the customer, right? You get your customer information, you can talk to the customer, understand what's wrong, what has he liked about the product, what he's not liked, and then make tweaks and get your product right for scale up further. I believe marketplaces is a great fulfillment plan channel, right? You create awareness through advertising on your Instagram, your digital channels, and then people can buy very easily on marketplaces. It's also a great trust factor. People believe in marketplaces, and if there's an issue with the product, they can return it. There is faster delivery with Amazon, Flipkart, etc. You can deliver within 24 to 48 hours with quick comment, 10-15 minutes. So that enables faster delivery and good distribution to be placed once you've got your PMF with D2C. And I think you will do offline retail. Once your brand is scaled up, you're maybe a 300 crore, 400 crore brand already. That's when you get into offline, right? Where you know that now this product is available for mass. And I think offline, the beauty is it's an extremely profitable channel once you scale, right? All you need is just to place the product in. There is no advertising cost, right? And then you can scale. I like to say like offline is like marriage. It's a long-term play, extremely profitable. D2C is more like speed dating. You try a couple of things, figure out what's working, and then double down on it. But it works very well.
Now, Rishab, another question for you. What lever most improved your month 3 repeat orders?
So basically month 3 is basically when your retention has started to improve and customers are coming back to your website to buy a product, right? For us, that lever really improved on 2-3 things. First is we realized that we need to explain our customers the product very well, right? And need to set expectations right. So what we started doing is, because this is nutraceuticals, right? It's not a magic pill. You're not going to consume one pill and see magic results, right? So we have to set expectations very clearly to a customer that if you're having apple cider vinegar, you need to diet, you need to exercise. And along with this, you will see best results. It will take you around 3 months to see it. So we started doing that through our emails, our WhatsApp communication. We started informing the customer. We in fact send a nice card saying what to expect, right? With a graph saying if you do this only having apple cider vinegar, what results you'll see. But if you do it along with diet and exercise, what results you'll see. And once we started doing that, right? And once we started explaining to the customer what exactly needs to be done, telling them that this needs to be consumed for 3 months, 6 months, we saw our retention go through the roof, right? People started coming back. They weren't complaining anymore that the product is not working. They were patient, they were following the plan, and they were being able to see results. So I think that's what led to it, right? So managing expectations of customers is very important for them to come back.
It's really interesting. You educated the consumers.
Correct.
That's the edge for this business.
Yes.
How do you balance CAC and LTV?
So I'll just explain what is CAC and LTV. CAC is basically customer acquisition cost, the cost required to acquire a new consumer for the first time. And LTV is lifetime value. How many times the amount he's going to purchase from you is called lifetime value. So CAC and LTV do go hand in hand. And what we've noticed is, and if you don't get PMF, your customer acquisition cost, as you keep scaling the business, will keep going up and up. So it's very important to figure out how to balance it. For us, what worked very well is we were able to leverage content, very great, unique, regional content, different dialects content, entertaining content, to ensure that our distribution of our videos was done economically, which helped us reduce our CAC. Also, one important thing to understand is, to get your CAC in control, you need to have a good average order value. Means your price of the product has to be high. So what we did is, instead of selling single packs, we started selling multi-packs on our website, so that we could ensure that the price justifies the CAC, right? If you have a 500 rupee product and your CAC is 500, you will never make money on the first order. So what we did is, since the CAC was 500, we made our average order value 1200. So we are at 2.2 times. So we were able to break even on the first order. Once you're able to do that, then honestly LTV doesn't matter, because you're anyways making money on the first order. Then it's only profit after that. In fact, so that's very important. How we manage LTV is like what I spoke about before, right? Is we manage expectations of customers, which made them come back to buy the product, and our LTV kept increasing. Also, I feel honestly LTV is a vanity metric. It can only be tracked on website, right? People will go buy on marketplaces, offline, everywhere, where you cannot even track who the consumer is. So fundamentally, as the brand keeps scaling, LTV will just become a vanity metric, which you will not be able to track. So you should rather focus on CAC, break even on the first order, and that's the gold mine to success.
Why Marico? What edge beyond capital did they bring?
Yeah, so this was 2023, we were evaluating partners that would help us with the next leg of growth at Plix. And we evaluated almost everybody, right? And what we saw in Marico was sort of this philosophy of building large, profitable businesses that run through legacies. And we've seen them do that with their own brands, their inorganic acquisitions. And what really struck out was they had a very strong D2C portfolio of successful brands that they acquired and scaled. And we saw Plix to be a great fitment with that. I read Harsh Realities by Harsh Mariwala, and he talks a lot about having a strong board culture. And we've seen that with our relationship with Marico. They're great at the board level. And what really works for Plix is we still run the brand pretty autonomously. And that means that we have independent decision making. We choose and decide our leadership. And I think this is very important when you're spearheading a high growth startup like Plix. And the fitment was just great with Marico, as I mentioned, just multiple different factors, from the fact that they've done this before to the fact that they give you the autonomy to run this ourselves. And I think that relationship has really accelerated the growth of Plix.
Good, very nice. Finally, what legacy should Plix leave? And if you could set one industry standard, what would it be mandated? Question to both of you. Anybody can answer this.
Yeah, I think I'll start. I think what Plix did right, and this was at sort of the tipping point of consumerism and digital consumerism in India, was build healthier lifestyles. I think Plix can be looked back at a company that has helped pioneer healthy lifestyles. And we do that through the fun content we create, the efficacious products we make, the form factors, sort of the fun and joy around the category. And I think if consumers look back, they'll realize that Plix was one of the first brands that made this category appealing.
So I'd like to add a few things to what Akash said, right? One is, for me, it's very important to make nutrition fun and tasty, right? It should be extremely non-intimidating and something you want to consume every day. That's what I want to leave behind, right? That nutrition shouldn't feel like a medicine. It should feel like a lifestyle, something you look forward to doing. You talk about it. It should be social. Like, you should be able to share your nutrition, feel cool about it. Like how today, the alcohol industry has done today, right? Has made alcohol very cool, right? I think that's what we want to do for wellness. We want to do for nutrition, make it sexy, appealing, something very social. That's what the brand also we are today. We're a content-driven brand, focusing on millennials, Gen Zs, sharing about their lifestyles. That's what we want to do. And what's the benchmark I want to leave behind? I think at Plix, we want to build ingredients and products which are highly efficacious, right? Backed with clinical data, have solid actives, and have least amount of synthetics inside them, right? Build on the legacy of plant-based. And that's what I want to leave. And then you don't need to have synthetic ingredients to drive efficacy. You can build it with plant-based also.
Great to hear that. Now we will move on to next rapid fire segment. It's also called as wellness rapid round. Okay. Now to you, Rishab, one word to describe your Plix journey.
Unbelievable.
Now, Akash, for you, your proudest moment.
I think it was our first town hall when we got the entire company together, and we just saw the enthusiasm on everyone's face, and we hit a milestone.
Legacy or disruption? What's harder?
Disruption.
One ingredient you swear upon.
Apple cider vinegar.
Taste or efficacy? What is Plix priority?
Taste with efficacy.
Gummies versus effervescence. Which has the better bioavailability?
Effervescence. Scientifically effervescence.
One word for the future of wellness.
Plix.
Very interesting, very interesting. Thank you so much, Rishab and Akash. Lovely talking to you guys.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
From a bootstrapped startup to a plant-based revolution, loved by millions, Rishab and Akash's story with Plix is about grit, taste, science, and sustainability. They remind us that wellness doesn't need to be intimidating, it can be joyful. This is the legacy of Plix Life. Join us again as we explore more journeys of pioneers redefining health and wellness, only on Legends of Lifesciences.